Avengers Infinity War. The name says it all. Do you really need a formal introduction to the movie? Well, we'd like to define the flick as the one that transferred all its hype towards Avengers Endgame. And what a winning execution of a screenplay it was. Gosh. And that being said, at Movie House, after we've admired all movies for their creative and talented sparks, we tend to look at the overlooked sides. And so here it goes. Here are 20 mistakes you may have failed to notice on Avengers Infinity War, primarily because it always manages to captivate you into the storyline. Number 1. In this heartache of a starting scene, you can see Thanos is grabbing Thor by his chest. And a few seconds later, in what is supposed to be a continuous shot, he is grabbing Thor by his head. Number 2. Over here, keep your eyes over the blood spot below Thor's eye patch, but when the camera shows Thor again, the spot disappears, as if Thor somehow wiped it off despite his hands being held by metal. Number 3. Over here, notice Tony's cool-looking jacket. Well, in the very next shot it disappears. Did someone steal it? And number 4. In this scene, from this shot, we can see that the Q ship has almost touched the ground, but in the next shot, it's still in the sky. Was it bobbing like a yo-yo? What kind of alien flight maneuver is that? Number 5. Again, right here, when Peter Parker alerts Ned, notice the earpiece. Well, in the very next shot, it disappears. Chances are very unlikely that it may have fallen off. There was barely any impact on the school bus. Number 6. Again in the bus, notice how at this shot there's nothing on Parker's right wrist, but when the camera angle changes, the web shooter appears on his right hand as well. Number 7. And yet again in the bus scene, notice the two cars behind Parker's bus heading in the same direction, but from the distant shot, the cars are missing. Number 8. In this scene yet again, notice the sunlight falling on the building but not on the car. But when the camera angle changes, the sunlight appears to fall uniformly on the building and the car. We suspect the light came from elsewhere. Number 9. Over here, notice the position of this wrecked car seat. We hope its owner had insurance. Anyway, the seat appears to have changed position a while later when nobody except for Banner was there. Number 10. See how clean Bruce's shirt is, but when the camera angle changes, the shirt appears to have a big patch of dust. Number 11. This is one of our favorite mistakes. Notice 3 rounds of the steel cables wound around Doctor Strange. From the back, it suddenly becomes 4 rounds. Number 12. In yet another rather big continuity mistake, notice the whitish police car behind Doctor Strange while he is being tied by ropes of steel. Well, in the very next shot, when he is being carried away by a piece of concrete, the white car has suddenly disappeared. Number 13. And here is a shadow mismatch. In the wide shot showing Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive land at the train station, Proxima's shadow is positioned in front of her and is quite heavy as you can see. And Glaive's shadow is positioned to his left, although they are under the same lighting. Number 14. In this action sequence, just as Corvus Glaive gets kicked by Black Widow, notice how close his weapon fell beside him. But later, when Captain America picks it up to defend Black Widow, well, it appears to have fallen off pretty far. Number 15. In the flashback to Gamora's planet, while Thanos is talking to young Gamora, notice Ebony May standing in the corner. Well, when Thanos begins to walk her, Ebony appears to have disappeared. Perhaps he had gone to lend a helping hand in the massacre. That would have been what we would have thought, but then he reappears again. Wow. Number 16. Okay, now that scar on Scarlett's forehead looks like one that's gonna take a long while before it heals completely, leaving no trace. Well, we guess she may have got some healing herb from Wakanda, cause it is healed completely, leaving no trace. Number 17. It appears even Infinity War has a hairdo continuity error. And this time, it happens to Spider-Man. Notice how Peter's hair is pretty slick at this particular shot. Wow, and a second later, it's changed. Number 18. In this iconic scene involving the creation of Thor's Stormbreaker, all thanks to Groot. Just as Groot chops off his arm, notice how the sharp end is facing toward the right when it lands, but when it begins to lift, the sharp end is facing the left. Number 19. In yet another sunlight instance, notice how in this shot there is not a single beam of sunlight on Vision. However, when the camera angle changes, and although Vision has not changed position, he is bathed in sunlight. Number 20. Over here we can make out that Hulkbuster is standing near Captain America. However, now we can see Hulkbuster has disappeared from the picture. And that's all the errors we at Movie House could scoop. Do let us know in the comments if we've missed out on any, or if some of the errors we pointed out can be a mistake in our own perception. With that being said, we very well know that these errors mean nothing when compared to the grandeur of Avengers: Infinity War as one of the most iconic movies in this history of superhero movies. #respect. It must also be said that the errors for us didn't seem as severe as the ones we've pointed out in other Avengers movies, or any other flick for that matter. Until next time, allow us folks at Movie House to anticipate Avengers Endgame. Do like and subscribe to our channel for more.